Today, we will be crushing Dark Souls under the weight of our big giant stick, and we will find out what happens if you only level up strength in DS1. After our homeboy Oscar helps us escape Dee Dee's basement, we pick up our stuff, bid farewell to our dead friend,
Now I must bid farewell.
and sit on the Asylum Demon's face before flipping off to Lordran. First things first, we are going to need a real man's weapon. And thanks to the Master Key we picked up as a starting gift, we can immediately get it by traveling to Portland, where we can put our hands on the Great Club. By the way, in Italian, mazza grande literally means big dick, because size does matter, am I right, ladies? Since we are still a beta male with a measly 12 strength, we gotta go hit the gym. Luckily, we can find some fat proteins down here in Shite Town. These are enough for 28 strength, just enough to fully wield our big chunk of wood. And let me tell you, most early enemies cannot handle the sheer size of our wood. I bullied Petrus for fun because we all know he deserves it. I bonked the shit out of the Baronite Knight for a Titanite shard and got the Firekeeper soul. Then I continued through the burg and talked to another man that has 0% body fat.
I'm Andre, the Restorer.
I upgraded my stick to +2 before freeing Lautrec,
Can you suck it?
Yes, your reward will have to wait. I've just been freed.
only to betray his dumbass and kick him off a cliff for his fat brain 5 minutes later. After that, I got RTSR in the Valley of Drakes and I was ready for the gargoyles. This will definitely be a first try. Okay, let's see what a +2 Great Club can do against the ferocious gargoyles. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. And that's bell number 1.
There are actually 2 bells of awakening.
Yes, I know. But before fighting Mommy Spider Milker's Super Deluxe Edition, I will need to get Power Within, which is the sole reason why we picked Pyromancer in the first place, and also because it has one of the lowest decks. Because we are alpha and we bonk until our enemies are reduced into atoms. God damn it, what the fuck is bro doing? Anyways, once that was done, I ran out as quick as possible from Portland because now I was going to need the very large ember. I spoke to the Firekeeper to upgrade my Sunny D, crushed some crystal meth, and absolutely demolished the Taurus demon. Oh hey, it's Solaire!
I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead.
Guys, don't be mad, we absolutely needed this to progress the run. Okay, I'm not gonna lie guys, I did it only to get his helmet. Plus he dies anyways, we just showed him some mercy. After that, I proceeded to kill the Black Knight to get a chance at the lottery and possibly get the best greatsword in the game. Holy shit, we actually got lucky. Huh? This needs dex to wield? 0 out of 10, what the hell is this dweeb shit? Well, got the key for Lower Undead Burg where I had a really nice time. See, people here are so friendly and will give a hug to anybody who needs it. But the best thing in this area is definitely the boss. Perfectly fair and balanced.
God damn it, dude.
I was getting so frustrated that I even attempted cheesing Capra only to fuck up the jump. Ironically though, that's when I actually won, so it turned out okay in the end I guess. Finally I could get inside the depths and get my hands on the large ember. I got bullied by a bunch of rats and then I got spawn killed back in Firelink Shrine by the Sim Squad. With my +6 Great Club I visited Quelaag because I absolutely wanted to show off my huge dick, my huge stick. Well, we absolutely smashed her, and then I actually fought her and killed her with a nice finisher thanks to the red Tearstone ring. And that is bell number 2. Since we were already in the area, I stole this guy's sister's clothes before cheesing his discharging ass for an easy 20,000 souls. Since Fortress of Kings was a pretty fun ride, I reached the bonfire without dying, got plenty of large Titanites for +9, as well as unlocking the shortcut. But before the Iron Golem, who by the way isn't nearly as hard as I am, I watched one of the most badass entrants in the game, before cutting the Gaping Dragon's tail for a weapon that I'll probably never use. Luckily this boss is like one of the easiest in the game, so we naturally got him first try. You saw nothing. After that quick little detour, I returned to the fortress and obtained a Titanite chunk from gently caressing this whiny overgrown baby. And then I proceeded to break the iron golem fight. One hit is enough to stagger him, another one to make him fall on his giant ass, and then just repeatedly hit him in the nards. Remember guys, Dark Souls is a hard game. Before venturing into Anor Londo, I bought the Crest of Artorias from Andre for $20,000 because of inflation. So I could progress Shiva's questline and meet him back in Portland so I could buy the strongest weapon for strength builds, the Demon Great Axe, which starts with an exceptional A-tier scaling at +0 that will become S-tier as we level it up. I also made Fake Havel get a taste of my wood, and he dropped me a pretty ring that will be very useful for light roll with the Great Axe. Then I traveled to New Londo Ruins, used some firebombs to kill Ingvard for the key to the seal, cracked open the area and got my hands on the very large ember, as well as some titanite chunks courtesy drop of the Dark Wraiths, aka the Edgelord's wannabe. I also visited the Crestfallen Knight to buy large tits off of him, and we can now get our giant great axe to +14. I ventured through the catacombs, took a couple of leaps of faith in order to smash Pinwheel and obtain the Rite of Kindling. Now we can get the Asylum Airways, and after getting completely roasted by the totally fair Torch Hollows, I reached the Stray Demon because I absolutely wanted a piece of that cake. And the Titanite Slab too, of course. Once that was over, I unfortunately had to put down the Best of Boys. And I was shocked because this weapon is completely nuts. Over 1,000 damage and I'm not even in RTSR range. 2 R1s and 2 charge attacks were all it took to put the puppy down. I swear guys, he isn't dead. He's just taking a very long nap. Sif drops for us the Covenant of Artorias ring, and by checking behind the tombstone, we can get the Hornet ring, which increases critical attacks.
Dead ass.
Finally, the city of the gods, Anor Londo. Brought down the bridge, killed a gargoyle, and somehow first tried the most infamous archer in the series. Unfair enemy placement? Meet my giant great axe. After an embarrassing death against ONS, I proceeded to absolutely obliterate them. Check this out. After taking a good look at Guinevere's big, beautiful eyes, we got the Lord Vessel, and I threw a bomb at her because she refused to go out on a date. This obviously made her twink brother really angry. So angry, in fact, that he turned off the lights. Also, the Goon Squad was now waiting for me, as well as the Dark Moon Nidus, which is a really strong NPC. Oh yeah, nothing better than femboys. Wait, what? As you can imagine, Gwendolyn couldn't handle the sheer size of my meat, and he died in a couple of hits.
Oh, heretic, swathed in dark.
But before leaving Anor Londo for good, I made sure to get the Occult Club from the Mimic as well as the Havel set, which will be very useful in the Four Kings fight. Finally, we could now place our giant bowl of cereal where it belongs, and venture through the Tomb of the Giants, where I got invaded by Leroy. Meet my Meat Smasher. Turns out he has one of those as well. Anyways, I reached the Nito fight without further issues. By the way, make sure to reverse the Occult Club into the Divine Club back at Andre's in order to permanently kill the skeletons and fight Nito without being disturbed by our bony friends. And we were able to kill the Lord of Boners. I mean the Lord of Death, which totally makes sense because time is convoluted and shit. After I killed the 7-headed Hydra in Darkwood Garden, I saved Dusk to start progressing for the DLC. After that, I visited Seath the Seething. He destroyed his personal dildo for us because he is smart but not that smart, and since this bitch ain't got no legs, I just had to repeatedly hit the tip of one of his tentacles to practically avoid most damage, assuring us an easy first try victory. By now, with 68 strength, our AR was 712, an insane amount, and after obtaining another Firekeeper soul by committing unspeakable violence, I got some more cake, this time with a spicy flavor, and the same fate awaited the Centipede Demon. Oof. Good thing we are wearing the Ring Wraith cosplay set for high fire defenses. And then it was time for the best boss ever created in a video game. Ironically, this is the only boss in Dark Souls 1 where fists are actually viable. Since the next Lord Soul was locked behind the 4 twinks, I decided to do the DLC first, because in order to fight the 4 kings I would need to swap the Fat Ring with the Covenant of Artorias, and if you didn't know, taking off the Favor and Protection Ring in Dark Souls 1 means it's going to break forever, leaving us fat rolling for the rest of the run. So I got the pendant, got grabbed by Manus' turgy and hairy hands, not complaining, I actually liked it, and I was dragged into Ulasil. I was a bit worried about the Sanctuary Guardian, given he moves a lot, he's quite fast, and my health is kinda shit. But turns out, I had nothing to worry about. I had some great RNG, which allowed me to go for a heavy charge attack which just obliterated more than half of his health bar. And just like that, the overgrown flying cat went down. Now we can actually watch the most badass cutscene in the game. Hell, I would even say in the series. Tell me down in the comments what is your favorite cutscene in the Souls series, by the way, I'm really curious. For the Manus fight, I put on Havel's armor in order to just tank his attacks. Because rolling is for dex users, and as my grandpa once asked me, you aren't one of those gays, aren't ya? Anyways, this strategy was total garbage. I even tried to upgrade my Sunny D to the full 20 sips available, but even that wasn't enough. Luckily, there is another way. And to achieve it, we will have to smash the Mushroom Lady in the Sanctuary. And once we're finished doing that, crush her with our giant weapon for the 3 Elizabeth mushrooms she drops. Turns out, this was exactly what we needed. Grandpa must be proud.
As thou seest fit.
And now, just the 4 kings stand between me and Santa Claus on crack. And honestly, I was needlessly anxious about this fight because we had way more than enough DPS to fight each of the twinks 1v1. This goddamn weapon is so balanced and totally fair because remember, Dark Souls 1 is hard, guys. Even somehow I'll keep getting mad at sorcery builds for using the so-called easy mode. Anyways, after dispatching the last king, we can enter the Kiln of the First Flame. Well, this is what happened to Grandpa Gwyn. So, what happens if you only level up strength in Dark Souls 1? Well, you break the poor game in half, while also bending it over your knees and spank it on its rear end. Alright guys, thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider leaving a like, comment down below what your favorite weapon is in Dark Souls 1, and subscribe to the channel for more awesome runs. Alright guys, this is all I got for today, thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time.
Our Lord hath returned.